again. I'm bringing you part two of the Big A leaked Foia papers. Now, I first must say, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And I want to say thanks to my comments. You guys are amazing for helping me get through this first phase of this page. Like, I can't thank you guys enough. The feedback has been great. There's both negative and positive feedback, as I should have expected. And so, we're taking it all. I see all the comments, and I'm going to try to respond to each and every comment. So keep commenting, but please subscribe. All right, jumping into it. We left off on page 28. So we're going to just scroll down. We're getting into more. This is the actual lab report. And a lot of this information is the same that we went over in the part one. The victims is still Amanda Fitch, of course. Suspects are still unknown, and they list the victim's injuries and where she was transported to. The vehicle information, is also listed, as well as the location of the incident, the date and time of the incident, and the death information. The autopsy information, the codes for the method, person shot, and this part of that word is blocked out, so codes, gang related. All right, and then we have personnel assigned, and these are the two detectives. And we have witnesses, being the name is redacted, male, black, years unknown, residence is redacted. This is redacted, male, black, 21 years of age, and this must be a second witness. His date of birth, or her date of birth, his date of birth, is redacted, as well as the residence. Other identifications in the state is Illinois. Other individuals involved, I believe this is because of the location that it happened at, which is the gas station. Excuse me. Click in there. And of course, her associations, and they have the victim listed and the business owner listed, and the suspects are still unknown. And the family member that was notified is redacted. The incident notifications, which is incident date and time, it was November 14th, 2013, 193000. The request type was a notification. The person's name was Johnson, star number 73. All right, getting down into the report some more. Victim, Amanda Fitch, female 1, 24, date of birth, redacted. Evidence, inventory number 130-47729. 1. A. Ridge impression. 1. B. Ridge impression. Both above items recovered from exterior front driver's side door of victim's 2011 Chevrolet Malibu bearing Illinois' temporary registration, redacted. Illinois State Police Laboratory Case C13-044474. Investigation. The results of the Illinois State Police Forensic Science Center examination of the recovered fingerprint impressions from the exterior front driver's side door of the victim's vehicle were received by reporting detectives on February 27, 2014. The examination revealed a latent print suitable for AFIS processing. An AFIS search and subsequent comparison revealed that the latent print was made by the victim, Amanda Fitch, whose fingerprints appear on a copy of the fingerprint card on file under redacted. This investigation continues. Report of Detective R. Murphy, number 20681, Detective D. Sipshin, number 20714. And this, getting further into the supplementary report, this is a progress report. This is a field investigation progress report. The victims, this is the same information that was listed in the lab reports and the reports prior to that. Vehicle information is still the same. Owner, Amanda Fitch. Location of incident, 6600 South Stony Island Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Gas station. Date and time of incident, November 14th, 2013, 1756. Death information, Amanda Fitch. Date of death, November 14th, 2013, 1853. Pronounced by Dr. Dennis on November 14th, 2013 at 1853. Autopsy information, medical examiner number 68. Method codes, person shot. What appears to be CAU codes, gang related. Vehicle damage and personnel assigned. Witnesses, redacted, male, black years, unknown, residence, redacted. Redacted, name, redacted, male, black, 21 years, date of birth, redacted, residence, redacted. Other identifications type is redacted, state, Illinois. And we have the BP gas station where the homicide occurred. And some more of this information here. And now we're getting into the investigation. RD number HW533515. Victim Amanda Fitch 0110. Female 124. Date of birth redacted. Wanted male 1 16 through 19. Black hooded sweatshirt, blue jeans, white gym shoes. Interviewed, redacted, male 163, redacted, male 153, redacted, male 125, redacted, male 126, redacted, male 119, redacted. Interviewed from PCAD, redacted, male 141, redacted, female 117, redacted, male 138, redacted. Unknown, female 1 unknown, refused to provide any personal information, redacted. Female 423, redacted. Investigation. This investigation is written in summary and not verbatim, with the exception of anything written within quotations denoting a verbatim statement or comment. This report is to be read in conjunction with all other reports generated under RD number HW-533515. On November 15, 2013, along with Detective Carroll, relocated, redacted, had been on the phone with Amanda just prior to the shooting, redacted. Amanda were going to meet at 66th and Stony Island. Redacted, saw Amanda's car in the gas station and learned Amanda had been shot. Redacted, Amanda and redacted did not know where Amanda's phone was. On November 17, 2013, reporting detectives interviewed redacted, stated he is homeless and pumps gas into customers' vehicles at the gas station at 66th and Stony Island in order to make money. Redacted stated on November 14, 2013, he had just pumped gas into a gray Malibu and was going to ask for a tip, but saw that the female driver was rolling a blunt, so he decided not to ask for any money. Redacted stated he was approximately 10 feet from the driver's side of the Malibu when an unknown offender approached on foot from behind the gas station and began firing a handgun toward the Malibu. Redacted stated he dove to the ground and could not provide any description of the shooter other that he was wearing dark clothing. On November 20th, 2013, reporting detectives reviewed police computer aided dispatch and contacted and interviewed the individuals who had called 911. The following interviews are in summary and not verbatim. Redacted stated he was in his vehicle traveling westbound on Marquette and was waiting at the red light at Stony Island when he heard gunshots and saw an unknown male 1 shooting a handgun towards a vehicle parked in gas station. Redacted stated the shooter had dreads hanging from his hoodie and fled westbound behind the gas station. Redacted, heard 5 gunshots, redacted, and saw an unknown male 1 in a dark gray hoodie running toward the alley behind the gas station, redacted. redacted, provided in essence the same statement as given on scene to Sergeant Devine. An unknown female 1 who refused to provide personal information and called from cell phone, redacted, she heard gunshots and saw an unknown male dressed in black shooting into a vehicle at the gas station across the street. Stated offender fled westbound on foot and got into a vehicle that was in the alley behind the gas station. The vehicle traveled southbound in the alley and then westbound on 66th Place. Stated the vehicle was an unknown make model but was possibly silver or gray. Redacted, she saw an unknown male shooting a handgun towards a vehicle at the gas station across the street. Redacted, she didn't see where the offender fled after the shooting. Redacted described the offender as a male 20s with a thin build and dark complexion. Redacted related a citizen informed them a man had gotten into a dark-colored Nissan Altima which was parked behind the gas station. Reporting detectives were able to identify this individual as Redacted and subsequently interview him. Redacted stated he was inside, Redacted. He heard numerous gunshots, Redacted. He saw an unknown individual in dark clothing running westbound from the gas station into the alley. Redacted. There was an unknown make model vehicle parked facing southbound in the west alley of Stony Island, just south of the alley. Redacted. Redacted described the vehicle as a dark sedan, possibly a Nissan or Honda. Redacted stated the individual who ran from the gas station entered the front passenger seat and the vehicle proceeded southbound in the alley and then westbound on 66th Place. On November 20th, 2013, responding detectives recontacted Redacted, stated that immediately after the shooting, Redacted, Amanda's cell phone was taken from him on scene by unknown police officers. Reporting detectives searched Clear Data Warehouse and found no record of a cell phone being recovered or inventoried. Responding detectives relocated to Auto Pound number 2 at 10300 South Doty and searched Amanda Fitch's vehicle for her cell phone with negative results. Responding detectives then requested subscriber information as well as mud/tolls for Amanda Fitch's missing cell phone. On December 11th, 2013, responding detectives received the subscriber information along with the mud/tolls for cell phone number Redacted. Responding detectives found the only calls placed after the homicide were immediately Redacted, had called 911 and were to the phone number Redacted. Responding detectives called Redacted and spoke to an individual who identified himself as Redacted. Stated he was a longtime friend of Redacted and he received a telephone call from Redacted right after the shooting, with Redacted informing him that Fitch had been shot. Redacted could provide no further information. The phone records were inventoried under inventory number 1308023. Responding detectives received the video from pod number 627, which was viewed and found to contain nothing of evidentiary value. Responding detectives received information, Redacted, that word on the street was an individual named Redacted was an offender in the homicide of Amanda Fitch. On January 15, 2014, the Redacted informed Detective Carr, Redacted, been arrested on New Year's Eve with a handgun. Detective Carr found that Redacted had been arrested on December 31st, 2013, and charged with the UUW after being found to possess a 9mm Taurus handgun. Parentheses, inventory number 130-78118. As Redacted. Detective Carr submitted a request to Illinois State Police for a direct comparison between the handgun recovered under Redacted and the shell casings recovered under RD number HW533515. On February 13, 2014, Responding detectives were contacted by Sergeant Robinson from Narcotics, who stated his team had arrested Redacted earlier in the day. Redacted was providing information regarding a separate homicide. Redacted. Responding detectives, along with Detective Minnelli and Carroll, relocated to Homan Square to interview Redacted. During the course of the interview with Redacted, responding detectives inquired if Redacted had any information regarding the homicide of Amanda Fitch. Redacted stated an individual he knows as Redacted admitted to him that he had shot Fitch. Redacted stated Redacted had told him he had followed her and shot her at a gas station. Redacted indicated he would be willing to cooperate with responding detectives regarding the investigation into the murder of Fitch. Since Redacted was released from custody, responding detectives made numerous unsuccessful attempts to contact Redacted. Responding detectives eventually received a phone number for Redacted, who also gave responding detectives an address of Redacted. Responding detectives found Redacted to not reside at Redacted. Responding detectives made contact with Redacted via telephone number provided by Redacted on August 25, 2014. Responding detectives explained to Redacted he was calling regarding the investigation into the murder of Amanda Fitch. Redacted related he could not talk at that time and requested responding detectives call back in 10 minutes. Responding detectives called Redacted back in 10 minutes with Redacted not responding to the phone call. All subsequent attempts to contact Redacted were also unsuccessful. On February 27, 2014, responding detectives received Illinois State Police Laboratory Report number C13-44474, which found that an AFIS search revealed the latent prints (inventory number 130-47729) recovered from the vehicle of Amanda Fitch matched those appearing on a copy of the fingerprint card belonging to Amanda Fitch. Redacted. The IPS laboratory report is the subject of a separate supplemental report. On April 16, 2014, responding detectives received an Illinois State Police Laboratory Report number C13-44474, which found the fired cartridge casings (inventory number 130-47742), along with the fired bullet jackets (inventory number 130-47924), recovered in the above homicide, were not fired from the handgun recovered in the UUW, as reported under Redacted. The ISP laboratory report is the subject of a separate supplemental report. On July 19, 2014, responding detectives learned that Redacted in custody at the 002nd District. Redacted and wished to speak with someone regarding Redacted. Amanda Fitch. Responding detectives interviewed Redacted at Area Central, who related he had received a phone call from an individual he knows as Redacted. Approximately 2 weeks ago, Redacted stated Redacted told him Redacted stated he asked Redacted, with Redacted replying Redacted also told Redacted stated he was called on his cell phone by Redacted, but he could not remember Redacted's cell phone number. Redacted identified Redacted as Redacted, stated his cell phone number was Redacted. Responding detectives allowed Redacted to telephone. Redacted stated had a phone number for Redacted. After speaking, Redacted did not have Redacted's phone number, but she would get it and call responding detectives. Responding detectives has never received a call from Redacted phone number. This is an ongoing investigation. Report of Detective Siption, number 20714, Area Central, Violent Crimes. And here we have another lab report with pretty much the same information from the previous lab report. Just scrolling down. This is the same information as the previous lab report as well. No new information here. All right, here we have victim, Amanda Fitch, female 1, 24, date of birth, redacted. Evidence, inventory number 130-47742, 12 Winchester 9mm Luger caliber fired cartridge cases, exhibit number 1. 3 Federal 9mm Luger caliber fired cartridge cases, exhibit number 2. 1 Gecko 9mm Luger caliber fired cartridge case, exhibit number 3. 1 Remington 9mm Luger caliber fired cartridge case, exhibit number 4. Inventory number 130-47924, 2 fired bullet jackets, exhibit number 5A and 5B, and 2 metal fragments, exhibit number 5C and number 5D. Inventory number 130-78118, Taurus model number PT 92AF 9mm Luger caliber semi-automatic pistol, redacted, in 1 magazine, exhibit number 3. Illinois State Police Laboratory case numbers C13-44474, RD number HW-533515. Investigation. The results of the Illinois State Police Forensic Science Center examination of the fired cartridge cases, exhibit numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 of lab report number C13-44474, recovered under inventory number 130-47742 from the homicide as reported under RD number HW-533515, found they were not fired in the Taurus 9mm handgun, exhibit number 3 of lab report, redacted, recovered under inventory number 130-78118 from the unlawful possession of a handgun as reported under redacted. The examination of 2 fired bullet jackets, exhibit number 5A and 5B, in lab report number C13-44474, recovered under inventory number 130-47924 from the homicide as reported under RD number HW-533515, found they were not fired from the Taurus 9mm handgun, exhibit number 3 of lab report, redacted, recovered under redacted from the unlawful possession of a handgun as reported under redacted. Report of Detective Shipson number 20714. And here we're getting down to the morgue report of the morgue section of the case supplementary report. And this information is the same for the victim. It's the victim's car, the location of the incident, the personnel assigned, and the witnesses. The location of the incident. All right. And we have investigation. HW-533515, ME number 247, November 13, Unit 610. On November 15, 2013, Dr. Escobar performed an autopsy on the remains of Amanda Fitch and determined the cause and manner of death to be multiple gunshot wounds / homicide. External examination. Number 1, gunshot wound entered left side of chest just below armpit, lodged. Number 2, gunshot wound entered left upper outer forearm as a deep graze and then re-entered. The bullet separated from jacket coating. The jacketed part lodged below the original entrance. The core exited near the left inner wrist. Number 3, gunshot wound entered left outer bicep as a deep graze, re-entered above that wound, and the bullet and jacket separated and lodged in upper shoulder. Internal examination. 02 medium caliber bullets, 02 copper jackets. And here we're getting down to the processing report. Homicide for first degree murder. Assignment type is the crime scene. So this is the crime scene report. And these are the technicians and the investigating officers, the involved people, and the suspect is still unknown. Male, black. CPD employees. Inventories. Seems they inventoried narcotic drug, fingerprint lift, blood swabs, fired bullet, expended shell, and multiple fired bullets. All right. And inventoried items we have here. I will go through the descriptions of each and the type. Property type is a narcotic / drug, and 2 pink small Ziploc baggies containing a green leafy substance. Suspect, cannabis. Narcotic, drug, small portion of a sandwich bag containing a white powder substance. Suspect, cocaine. FP lift A. Rear interior from the exterior driver's side door. FP lift 2. Rear interior from the exterior driver's side door. Blood swabs. And if that's not interior, excuse me for that, I will go back and let's just reread that. I'll reread that for clarity purposes. That is FP lift A, RI from the exterior driver's side door. FP lift B, RI from the exterior driver's side door. Blood swabs, box containing 2 cotton swabs containing red stains, suspect blood from the center console. Metal fragment, marker number 19, from the center console. Expended shell, WIN 9mm Luger fired cartridge cases, markers number 1, number 6, number 8, number 10 through 18. Expended shell, FC 9mm Luger fired cartridge cases, markers number 2, number 5, and number 9. Expended shell, Gecko 9mm Luger fired cartridge cases, marker number 4. Expended shell, RP 9mm Luger fired cartridge case, marker number 7. And we have an array of fired bullets, and they are metal fragments. Metal fragment marker number 3. Metal fragments from the interior door frame. Metal fragment marker number 20. Metal fragment marker number 21. Metal fragment marker number 22. Metal fragment marker number 23. And metal fragment from the ground under the front area of the vehicle. Firearms recovered, none. Crime scene photos. Crime scene video exists, yes. And these are the crime scene photos that the investigators took while they were on the crime scene. And we'll go through these. Majority of these seem to be all digital photographs. So I will not go over the media type for all of these, but just know they are digital media type. So a camera. Rear of gray Chevy Malibu with temporary plate, driver's side of vehicle. Driver's front door with bullet holes in the glass and mirror. Front seating area from left side of vehicle. Bullet holes in the frame between windshield and driver's front door. Evidence marked with markers number 1 through 6 on the ground. Driver's side of vehicle with marked evidence. Evidence marked with markers number 7 through 18 on the ground. Redacted. Evidence marked with markers number 1 through 18. VIN tag plate on interior driver door frame. Front passenger seating area. Blood on driver's seat and center console. Front of gas station mini mart. Suspect narcotics in driver door handle. Bullet holes on the front hood. Front driver's side tire. Front view of vehicle. Evidence marked with marker number 19. Driver's side front door interior view. Rear driver's side seatbelt receiver. Metal fragment inside driver's door frame. Metal fragment next to front left tire with marker number 20. Evidence under vehicle with marker number 21. Evidence marked with marker number 22 in left corner of the engine. Evidence marked with marker number 23 on top of the engine. Facial profile view, left and right facial profile view, bullet wound under left armpit, wounds to the upper left arm, wound to the lower left arm. Abdomen, RI marked A from the driver's front door, window frame, scale used. RI marked B from the driver's front door, window frame, / scale used. Involved vehicles. Gray 4-door, license number is redacted. State Illinois, make Chevy, model Malibu, VIN number is listed. Year 2011. Bullet holes to the driver's side of the vehicle on the hood, windshield frame, and front driver's side window / front left tire. And that was a comment. Narrative. BT 5821 and BT 5812 were assigned to a homicide at the above location. Victim sustained several gunshot wounds and was removed to Stroger Hospital by CFD ambulance number 22, where the victim expired. Responding technicians searched, located, and recovered the above listed evidence, which was videotaped and photographed. Responding technicians recovered blood on the driver's front seat and center console. Responding technicians fingerprinted the driver's front door and recovered from the exterior door 2 RIs. Responding technicians relocated to Stroger Hospital, took photos of the wounds and photos of the victim for identification purposes. Responding technicians relocated to unit number 277, where the inventories and the reports were completed. And they have the completed paperwork here, and then who it was submitted by and approved by. All right. And we're getting down more into, this is an assignment type of a pickup from the morgue. So this is a report allowing the officers to pick up the body and list the investigating officers and technicians. The involved people is a victim, Amanda Fitch, female, black, 24, and her date of birth is redacted. They inventoried a blood card, some clothing, and a fired bullet. And just scrolling down some more. We have the E-Track inventory item inquiry. So this is them entering all the inventory into the database, which they call Clear. And they're processing all of the evidence. And this is 2 pages of that, 3 pages of that. Sorry for the sideways document. Let's see if we can rotate it. Property inventory, so still inventory stuff. Let's push this back. Alright, inventory, more inventory documents. More inventory documents. Inventory of things seized in search is empty. A blank document, excuse me. More inventory document, we're scrolling past. A blank inventory document sheet. And now we have an Illinois State Police Division of Forensic Services Command, evidence submission form for Chicago Police Department. And it gives case information, and the offense is 0110, homicide first degree murder. The date of offense is November 14th, 2013. The submitting detective is David W. Shipshin. Involved people, the suspect is unknown, and the victim is Amanda Fitch, excuse me. So sorry about that. Please excuse me. Amanda Fitch. And they have the inventory section here. and they're just listing inventories of the expended shells and some fingerprint lists and a fired bullet that they inventoried. And we have a lab report, Illinois State Police Division of Forensic Services, Forensic Science Center at Chicago, 1941 West Roosevelt Road in Chicago, Illinois, 60608. And this was on February 26, 2014. And this was reported by David Shipshin. And the offense is murder. The victim is Amanda Fitch. The following evidence was received by the Forensic Science Center at Chicago on November 22nd, 2013. And it was inventory number 130-47742. Exhibit 1, 12 discharge cartridge cases. Exhibit 2, 3 discharge cartridge cases. Exhibit 3, 1 discharge cartridge case. And Exhibit 4, 1 discharge cartridge case. The following evidence was received by the Forensic Science Center at Chicago on November 25, 2013, inventory number 130-47729. Exhibit number 6, 1 latent lift. Exhibit number 7, 1 latent lift. Examination and results. Examination of Exhibit 7 revealed a latent print suitable for comparison. An AFIS evaluation of Exhibit 7 revealed the latent print was suitable for AFIS processing. An AFIS search and subsequent comparison revealed the latent print was made by the person whose fingerprints appear on a copy of the fingerprint card marked. Name, Amanda Fitch. Redacted. Sex, race, female, black. Date of birth, redacted. Victim, in parentheses, next to that. Examination of Exhibits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 did not reveal any latent prints suitable for comparison. And that was Chicago PD Unit 610, laboratory case number C13044474. Remarks. Photographic copies of the latent print from Exhibit 7 are retained on file. Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be forwarded to the firearms section. The remaining evidence will be returned at the Forensic Science Center at Chicago. Any analysis conducted is accredited under the laboratory's ISO/IEC 17025. Accreditation is issued by ANSI-ASQ National Accreditation Board/FQS. Refer to certificate number AT-1697, an associated scope of accreditation. Respectfully submitted by redaction. And here we have another lab report, and this one was submitted on April 15th, 2014 by the same detective, David Shipshin. And there's an additional detective, Thomas Carr. The offense, of course, is murder. Victim is Amanda Fitch. The following evidence was received by the Forensic Science Center at Chicago on November 22nd, 2013. Inventory number 130-47742. Exhibit 1. Item submitted. 12 Winchester 9mm Luger caliber fired cartridge cases. Findings. The fired cartridge cases in Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 were fired in the same firearm. One of the fired cartridge cases in Exhibit number 2 was entered into the IBIS database. However, no identification was made. The fired cartridge cases in Exhibit number 1, 2, 3, and 4 of C13-44474 were not fired in Exhibit redacted. Exhibit 2, 3 Federal 9mm Luger caliber fired cartridge cases. Findings, see findings for Exhibit number 1. 1 Gecko 9mm Luger caliber fired cartridge case. See findings for Exhibit number 1. 1 Remington 9mm Luger caliber fired cartridge case. See findings for Exhibit number 1. The following evidence was received by Forensic Science Center at Chicago on November 22nd, 2013. Inventory number 130-47924. Exhibit 5. Item submitted. 2 fired bullet jackets, Exhibit number 5A and Exhibit number 5B, and 2 metal fragments, Exhibit number 5C and Exhibit number 5D. Findings: Exhibit 5A and number 5B were fired from the same firearm. Exhibits number 5A and number 5B are of 9mm/38 class caliber, exhibiting 6 polygonal land and groove impressions with a right hand twist. And that is polygonal. Exhibits 5A and 5B of C1344474 were not fired from exhibit. Redacted. Exhibits number 5C and 5D are unsuitable for further microscopic comparison. Remarks: redacted due to a detective's request. Any analysis conducted is accredited under the laboratory's ISO/IEC 17025 accreditation issued by ANSI-ASQ National Accreditation Board/FQS. Refer to certificate number AT-1697 and associated scope of accreditation. Respectfully submitted, redacted, Karen L. Tucker, forensic scientist. And here we are getting to some of the witness reports and statements. And I will do my best to read this as well. Sometimes the handwriting is a little choppy, to say the least. All right, so we have a big redacted section here on this first document, witness report, and a redacted box on the left. And we start with the words "about 2 weeks, June 29th through 04 June." I'm not sure. I think this is, I'm pretty sure this is, 29 Sunday through, okay, I see it. Sorry, guys. 29 Sunday through the 4th of Tuesday, I think. About 2 weeks ago, he got redacted from, redacted from redacted. Redacted who told him, and then there's a big redacted block there. Sometimes these are a little frustrating because you can't make much out of it, but we will still read it. Or I will try to make the best of reading it to you guys. All right, so we have the second document, and it is redacted in the top left-hand corner, but listed is a male 121. And at the top right-hand corner, it says 1 of 3, and at the bottom of that, it is redacted. Underneath that is a redacted block as well, and we'll start off with the word he. He received numerous calls asking what happened. Redacted was told that a male black, 19 through 20, nicknamed Redacted, sent out tweets that said redacted, redacted. Also sent out tweets that he was redacted, which means he's against members of Young Money. Okay, of Young Money. Then we have a redacted block underneath of that, and we start off at the word who asked, and then there's redacted after that, and then another redacted line, and it appears to be the word asked, and then there's more redaction, and then we get to the word and saw, ambulance, and police, and then it's redacted after that, and then another redaction, and the last sentence we have on this document says call, when he got call. Now we're moving on down to the next document, and the first line of the document is redacted. There's a redacted word, and next to that is parentheses CONT, which I will infer to mean continued from the previous document. And to the right of that, it says 2 of 3. Redacted got killed by word of mouth. Redacted posted redacted on internet. Redacted did murder. Redacted was/is a Mickey Cobra and tried to stop conflict between redacted. Today, November 15th, 2013, redacted met boys were talking and said what happened. Redacted was messed up. Met Boy said that day of murder, Redacted Male 1 came to Redacted and asked about Redacted Redacted. Redacted said Amanda killed Redacted in 2010. Redacted was selling weed. Redacted and Amanda went inside acting like they were buying weed. Redacted and Amanda were talking about Redacted. Days after murder, in rear Redacted. Amanda up pistol and told Redacted not to move. Redacted searched for weed and found it. Redacted went for his gun and Amanda shot him. And we get down to the next page of this report, and sometimes we are lucky enough to get this is when the officer recreates the scene by his memory and he draws out what exactly he saw. We'll zoom in here a little bit, and I believe they're saying this is Stony, and this must be the gas station, and I'm not sure if these, maybe this is her car, I'm not 100% sure, but they look to be outlining the homicide here, because they have 66th Street here, and then they have Stony here, which the McDonald's was referenced earlier in the paperwork. So I believe this outlines maybe where the killer came from and shot the victim, Amanda Fitch. But we can go back over this at a different time too. It's pretty interesting. All right. Scrolling down that page, we have some redaction at the very first line, and next to that is 3 of 3. And to the left of the redactions, we have late 2010, November 2012, and October/December is scratched out. To the right of that is a redaction block, 48th, Michigan, December 15th, 2010. Underneath that is a redaction block, and to the right of that is a 5556 LaSalle, driver's seat, redaction. And underneath of that, at the very left, it is a redaction block, and to the right of that, it says in on gang probation until 9/14, 8 p.m. curfew, no weed. P.O. Dolvin Ashland / I'm not sure what that says. All right, and the next document we have is another report. Starting off, the document is a big redaction block, and next to that, to the right, is a male 124. Underneath that is a redaction block, and underneath that is a redaction block. And we're starting off to the right of that redaction block with the word over, PH by she was shot. She told him she was going to get oil change at 95th and Stony. Redaction called, told him unknown guy came through cut and shot her at gas station. After shooting, he was with, is that him? I think that's him or her all day, 10 a.m. through 3 p.m. Just drove around. Yeah, that is her, excuse me, because then he says she dropped him off at redaction. Next document starts off, big redaction, had, and then there's a redaction, big redaction block underneath of that. There's a smaller redaction block underneath of that. And underneath that redaction block, we have the word forward, the redaction to her phone. And then to the right of that is a redaction block. And underneath that is a redaction block. And that's the end of that document. Starting off the next document, we have a big redaction block starting that off, and then a line redaction out. And then the next line we have wanted to meet dash with at 63rd and Cottage. Then we have 67th and Stony, wanted to get oil change. Okay, this must be Witness at 63rd and Cottage. Okay, got you. Witness goes 64th to Woodlawn to 63rd to Stony. Driving southbound by BP, police there went around the block. More police. Saw or I'm not sure what this is, in driver's seat with blood around mouth. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. This is A. I don't know why. I don't know why the detective is writing this A upside down. And I'm not meaning any disrespect to the Amanda Fitch in this video, and by any way, but I will read it as Amanda. I just don't appreciate this. I don't know what this represents. Saw A in driver's seat with blood around mouth. Excuse me. Lady came out from drive-through at McDonald's and said she heard 6 shots. And then we have a big redacted block, and someone heard 4 to 5 shots, sees offender run westbound to unknown. And there's redaction under that. Was unable to describe offender or give further info. Heard 5 or 6 shots, saw nothing of shooting or prior to shooting. Looks up after hearing shots, sees male 120. Possible passenger of Vic car, red color shirt, black jacket, standing by passenger door of Vic's car, talking on his cell phone, pacing. This male 1 then walked towards redacted. He went outside subsequently, saw victim in driver's seat after police already on scene. And that's it for that document. And on the next document, we have the officers that are on the scene, just listing their officers' numbers and officer badge numbers. And here we have another outline of the scene by detectives. I'm going to try to turn this to where it can be legible somewhat. Like, they kind of wrote it sideways. So if we look here, I think this way makes the most sense to look at it. BP, camera, pump 5 and 6, pump 7 and 8. And the 17 9mm casings were found right here. 1 spent fragment also. There's a sidewalk, red and yellow tape, red yellow tape, a fence. Alright, let's zoom back out and try to see if there's any text to read. There's a Marquette here and McDonald's. The McDonald's across the street. Let me try to rotate this back. Okay. Alright, and so reading this document out, or doing my best to, can't make this out here. Stony Island Avenue is there. Gray 4-door, V Chevy Malibu, February 13, redacted, VIN number is listed, 167012, 10 bullet strikes, driver's door, zoom in some more, sorry, driver's door / window, blood on driver's seat, metal fragment inside driver's side, metal fragment center console, Stroger / doctor somebody, 2 bags of weed. And I think that's it for that document there. Alright. And we're starting off the next document. I think we'll go ahead and clip this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed the read. Excuse me for any mishaps or fumbles and bumbles on my words there. I will get better as time goes on. Thank you for all your feedback. Please subscribe, and please subscribe again. I appreciate all the support. The more support I get, you know, it motivates me to keep doing this. So thank you guys for everything you've done so far, and we will be picking this up on part 3, and I'll try to finish this complete document in part 3. Thank you.